Hello everyone. So this time you might encounter people from different walks of life, especially the kids. They might say good morning, or you might meet your boss this time and says good morning, or your grandpa or grandma would say to you good morning. You might notice that they all have different way of saying good morning. Do you think it can change the meaning? So this time, that question could be related to the topic that we're going to tackle about, and it is suprasegmentals. Suprasegmentals is defined by Merriam-Webster Dictionary, which is relating to the significant features. And these significant features are also called as prosodic features. Because, once again, suprasegmentals, they are also called as segmental information or the prosodic. And the segmental features are the pitch, the tone, the rhythm, timing, meter, stress, and juncture. The functional segmentals and non-functional segmentals are the two main branches of the suprasegmentals. So the functional segmentals, it comprises of the pitch, the tone, loudness or volume, the length of the sound or the rate, and the fifth is the stress pattern. All of these, again, are functional segmentals because they can change the meaning of words. On the other hand, non-functional segmentals are the intonation, juncture, rhythm, meter, and timing. They are non-functional in the sense that they could not change the word semantically, but they can create additional effects to the spoken language. So the first part again is the functional segmental features. And the first one is the pitch. The pitch refers to the difference in the relative vibration frequency of the human voice that contributes to the total meaning of speech. It is the pitch produced through the vibration of your vocal folds. The pitch is higher if the vocal vibration is strong, and if the vibration of your vocal folds is weak, so the pitch becomes slow or lower. And for instance, men generally have longer vocal folds compared to women. We also expect that men have lower pitch and the women have higher pitch. And different case also to the oldies, such as your grandparents, your grandmom, your grandpa or grandfather. They have different pitches. As well as the children, they have different pitch. So those are my examples. The second suprasegmental feature, which is the tone, specifically in the functional suprasegmental. Okay, it occurs when some languages use pitch to signal changes in word meaning. For example, in the language of Chinese, they are saying the word she in different tones. If the she is in a falling tone, the she there means city or market. And if the she is rising, falling, it means history. Another is, if the she is in a slightly rising tone, it means 10. 10. And if the tone of the word she is rising, it means to lose. To lose is a verb that is in a high tone. And then the rest of the she from different lower tones, they are all nouns. Okay, so that is an example regarding to the suprasegmental feature, tone. The third suprasegmental functionally is the loudness or the volume. It refers to the intensity or the loudness. It exists, or it occurs, in other words, with the energy that you exert when you speak. So if you exert more energy in your vocal folds, meaning to say the volume is high, and if the energy is weak towards the vibration of your vocal folds, so meaning the volume is low. So the higher the energy, the stronger, or the faster, the more intense is the vibration of the vocal folds, definitely resulting to its volume. So the stronger, the higher. And the next is the fourth length, which is the length for sounds, and it could also be called as rate. For the length of sounds or rate, it refers to the longevity or the shortness of the sound regarding its rate. Example here, these two words in English, such as beats and beat. The first one is short and the second one is longer. And it could be distinguished through its vowel sounds. Through the vowel sounds, you will know its length. Okay, so it's not on the consonant sounds, but on the vowel. And also, the length is referring to the duration of the sound. So our rate of speech depends on the length or duration of sounds and the length and number of pauses. Accordingly, a sound can change in span as a result of an expected articulatory process, or like intonation. Length can signal discourse level information about an utterance. For example, the word easy. The word easy could be expressed as easy. The length of the sound, take note, it can change the meaning of a word. If you say easy, that is the denotative one, the literal one. But if you express it as easy, so you are referring to another one, the implied meaning for the word easy. So again, that is one factor of changing the semantics of spoken language. The first, which is the last for functional suprasegmental feature, is the stressed pattern. It is the relative force or intensity of utterance given to a syllable or word, producing relative loudness. The syllable that is stressed is said to be louder and longer than the other syllable or syllables in a word. Meaning to say, we are using the stress for emphasis. It can definitely affect the meaning of words. For example, the word report. It can be classified as report and report. Report is a noun, which means you're referring to documents or records written. So again, that is uttered as report. But if you are referring to an action word for the word report, the stress should be on the second syllable and not on the first. It becomes report, which means you are going to announce or discuss important matters. Again, the stressing of words can affect the meaning. Just like my example earlier, we have ways of saying the word report. Report as a noun wherein the stress is on the first syllable, and another one is report where the stress is on the second syllable. And on the first syllable of the word as report, that is a noun and it refers to the records or any written documents. On the other hand, report, which is a verb, it refers to the case that you're going to announce or discuss important matters. We also have different degrees of stress, such as primary, secondary, tertiary. And all of these degrees of stress can be found on the transcription of words in the dictionary. So if you want to know, kindly look at your dictionary and determine wherein those words will be the primary, secondary, tertiary. When to express it, the given syllable as having a primary stress, which is for the secondary, tertiary, and so on. This time, we are now for the functional segmental features, part 2, where the first part is the intonation. Intonation, it refers when language use speech in another way, not to change word meaning, but to signal important information at the level of the discourse or to signal speaker's emotion or attitude. Intonation, again, it doesn't change the meaning, but it can contribute significant information. So we have here the different intonation patterns. The first is the falling intonation pattern, which is used in statements or imperatives such as WH questions as well as tag questions. That's simply a confirmation of a fact. If the stressed syllable is the last in the utterance, the voice glides down to low pitch on the vowel of the stressed syllable. We have different intonation patterns such as the rising falling intonation, the falling intonation, and the rising intonation. The rising-falling intonation occurs when the voice generally starts at a normal pitch, rises to a high pitch at the start of the stressed syllables, and then falls to a low pitch or to the end of the utterance. We call this intonation pattern the falling intonation pattern. If the stressed syllable is the last in the utterance, the voice glides down to low pitch on the vowel of the stressed syllable. Another is the falling intonation. It is the pattern usually used if you are expressing a statement or imperatives such as WH questions and also the tag questions, just to imply a confirmation of the fact. The rising intonation, on the other hand, is used to yes or no questions and to tag questions that are genuinely questions and do not merely ask for confirmation or fact. Another case is when the questions use the rising intonation before and falling intonation after. We have different pitch levels such as the high, that is indicated by number 3. The mid is 2, low is 1, and the extra high is 4. So we have these different intonation patterns. If we're going to express a statement, it is from outer space. It is from outer space. Okay? And another is, it was 4 million years ago. So that's the pattern. It is from outer space. It is from outer. It was 4. All of those are in a mellow pattern, normal pattern, and it will rise up and then glide down when we reach space, as well as billion years ago. The years ago falling down, same as on the last part of the word space. Okay, that's for the statement. And if you are going to express the WH questions, the pattern is normal. At first, it will rise up and then fall down. For example, how heavy was the book? How heavy was the book? Where did it came from? Where did it came from? When we ask questions, and if it rises, that is the moment that the questions we expressed are tag questions or the yes or no questions. For example, it was an old rock. Wasn't it? Wasn't it? So the intonation rises at the last part of the sentence. Another tag question that confirmed a fact. For example, the rock was found in 1984. Wasn't it? So it rises. Another is choice question. Did it land in Antarctica or in Sahara? Did it land in Antarctica or in Sahara? All of the words at the last are rising because we are expressing a choice question, and definitely the pattern is rising. Another is enumeration. I am interested in astronomy, archaeology, and anthropology. So it rises every end of the word within each series of words to be enumerated. Another example for the intonation is this case. English uses for information such as follows. Some got an A in calculus. So that's normal. It says that some got an A grade in calculus. Another is some got an A in calculus, which means the person who expressed such statement is happy. Or some got an A in calculus, so meaning it asks confirmation. Another, some got an A in calculus, so that's another one. All of these above sentences contain same words and same segments. But if we vary the intonation to convey something different about the speaker's attitude toward the sentence meaning, notice that we sometimes use punctuation in our writing to give some clues about the sentence's prosody. The second non-functional segmentals is the juncture. The juncture refers to the pauses within the continuous flow of speech. And we have different terminals of juncture such as double cross, double bar, the single bar, and the plus juncture. Examples are Professor Tan. My sociology juncture has a very good sense of humor. That is for the appositive. Another is the Philippine eagle, an endangered species, pose, can be found in mast. The third is Mr. Kagas. Mr. Kagas, please throw this envelope. So we are expressing the statement to someone. That is for the noun of address. The fourth is the secretary said the president is busy. The president is the speaker. That is a direct quotation. Next, the secretary said that the president is busy. The secretary is the speaker, the one who speaks such statement, and is a direct quotation. Robin speaks in Filipino, French, Greek. All of those languages are within a series. So we are going to post each word, each language. Again, Robin speaks in Filipino, English, French, and Greek. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. So we are going to use that signal to signify series. Please buy me the following clips, folders, pencil, and book cover. Because we are expressing, we imply long enumerations. That is why we pause in every word. Next, is she going us? Is she going us? That is for the yes or no questions. Another thing is, can we make it? So the same for the yes or no questions. Next is the rhythm. The rhythm is the pattern of stress in poetry, which is formed by stressed and unstressed syllables within a line or verse. This is commonly used in poetry. We use rhythm in poetry that gives mellifluous presentation of the poem when we recite it. A poet is trying to say a lot in just a few words, and so understanding a rhythm that will help with our understanding of the whole poem, just like in the music or film. The beat of rhythm that helps us build an expectation of the content. Another is the length. The length or pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables. This is also commonly used in poetry. A poet is not restricted to using pentameter or having 5 metrical feet in a line. Here are some other useful terms. Diameter refers to having 2 metrical feet. The trimeter is for having 3 metrical feet within the lines of the poem, and tetrameter refers to 4 metrical feet used within the verse of the poem. For example, double, double toil and trouble, 5 burn and cauldron double. This is actually the Shakespeare's Macbeth in his poem Macbeth, and he is actually using the true cake tetrameter. So it gives important information towards the language of poetry. Next is timing. The choice of the best moment to do or say something, example, performing music and comedy or in sport. We also need timing for giving additional effect, information in our spoken language, specifically when we are performing on stage as comedian, as a musician or actor or actresses. We also have part 3, which is the vocal qualifiers or characteristics of an effective voice. The first is the quality or accent, which refers to the characteristics that enables us to distinguish between sounds or 2 voices. Accent. Language has different accent. If different nationalities also have different accent. The accent of Americans is different from the accent of British, although they have the same language used, which is English. Now, we here in Philippines, we are using American accent instead of British accent because it was embedded long time ago that we are from American colony. So we adopt the American accent. Whereas the Indonesians, the Malaysians, they are physically the same to us, but we could be distinguished from them when they speak English and the accent is British. So definitely they are Indonesians or Malaysians. They are the people from Malaysia or Indonesia because the accent is British. And British because they are from British colony long time before. So that is also one impact in our spoken language. Quality, I mean. The next quality is audibility. Audibility refers to the quality in which the voice could be heard clearly and loud enough to be understood by the audience or listeners. Next is the pleasantness. It refers to the personal taste. We all have different pleasantness, different quality or taste whenever we speak. That is also the one of the vocal qualifiers. Next, fluency. It refers to the smooth, easy, and ready flow of language. Fluency is one thing that we speakers of English are aiming of. We want to be fluent whenever we speak English, with accuracy, of course. Our rate of speaking naturally depends on the ideas we are discussing. We slow down, we want to emphasize an important idea, and we speak a little faster if we're discussing something which is not so important. Another is flexibility, the fifth one, which refers to the variations in the use of pitch, the volume, rate, and quality to express different moods or emotions. So, flexibility has something to do with the variations of the tone, volume, and some other segmental features resulting to flexibility of your spoken language. And that's all. I hope that you understand despite the tenses I feel this time. So once again, thank you and good bless you.